Now when it comes to tourist attractions, Sydney's pretty much got it covered. I mean, even from just down here at Circular Quay, you can go and climb the harbour bridge, visit your animal mates at the zoo, or even check out a super fast jet boat harbour ride. But if extreme heights and adrenaline pumping boats aren't exactly your thing, I've found you a Sydney rush of a different kind. That's right, we're about to experience two of Sydney's biggest passions, coffee and chocolate. And the best part is, it's all done on your own 2 feet. Welcome to the Chocolate Espresso Tour. Coffee connoisseur Sheila Coleman and a friend teamed up in 2005 to create a unique attraction for the millions of tourists that visit Sydney each year, as well as a few locals, of course. So Sheila, how did the idea for the tours come about?
A deep passion for chocolate and coffee. About 3 years ago, a lot of fantastic chocolate shops were opening in Sydney, and I had the idea to introduce as many people as I could to those fantastic shops.
And chocolate and coffee goes pretty well together.
It does. It's a wonderful combination.
And you've had a lot of people come on the tour. How many you've had so far?
Oh, over 4,000 on the tours in 3 years.
Well, there's about 8 more ready for today, so let's go and check it out.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
We're hitting the streets of downtown Sydney to taste the creme de la creme of Australia's finest coffees and chocolates. And what better way to start than with a nice hot espresso? Pendolino Cafe, set in the historic Strand Arcade, is a great place to learn about the origins of coffee and just what makes that perfect cup. So we're here with Giovanni from Pendolino, and you've been an espresso maker or a barista for a few years now.
Yeah.
What's your secret to the best cup of coffee?
Passion.
Passion?
Passion.
A lot of effort put involved, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent. So let's check it out. How do you do it?
Okay.
So Giovanni's just made me a piping hot latte. Let's test it out and see how it goes. Very nice. Now, Sheila, the first cup of coffee didn't exactly come from a modern espresso machine. There's a bit of a story with some goat herders in northern Africa. Tell us more.
Well, Caldi, a goat herder, is said to have discovered coffee. He noticed one day that his herd of goats were running and jumping everywhere, and he saw that they were eating some red berries on a bush. So he decided to eat some himself. And pretty soon he was running and jumping everywhere. So he picked a lot of the berries, took them back to the village, gave them to all his friends. Everybody had a fantastic weekend. But the village chief wasn't very happy about it, so he took the berries away and threw them into the fire. And of course this wonderful aroma came up from the fire. Conveniently nearby was a bucket of cold water. They scraped the roasted berries out of the fire, threw them into the bucket of cold water, and that supposedly was the world's first cup of coffee.
There you go. It's actually a pretty interesting story. I bet not too many people know that. So. Now, from folklore to some pretty cool local history, we're here in the Strand Arcade, which is one of the 2 last remaining original arcades in the city. It was modelled on the Burlington Arcade in London, so it has that element of our British heritage as well as a few Aussie touches along the way. Which brings us to the first sweet stop on the tour, the Australian owned and operated Haig's Chocolates. So Sheila, what have we got here?
What we've got here is a cocoa pod, which is where chocolate comes from. This is what grows on the tree, and inside are cocoa beans. And then these, when they're removed from the pod, they get roasted, and the cocoa nibs then get used to make chocolate.
So that's the basis of chocolate, that's where chocolate starts?
That's correct, that's correct.
Okay, so we've just found out the story of chocolate. I think it's about time we got down and had some samples.
Good idea.
Okay, so we've tasted a lot of chocolate now, and it's about time to move on to our next stop. But you know, I hate seeing chocolate go to waste, so we may as well finish this one off. That's good. The walking tours last 3 to 4 hours and take you all over the city, which is perfect for walking off all those samples. So we're on our way to the next venue. Now, Katie, what's been your favourite part of the tour?
Oh, it would have to be the free samples. There have been some delicious chocolates.
What have you tried?
I tried a passion fruit white chocolate. Oh, it was so good. It's so good.
That's good. But
yep.
You know what? It's not all about the tasting. Sheila's actually got some pretty cool facts about our favourite little treats, which she shares with us along the way.
So does anybody know who eats the most chocolate in the world?
Americans?
No.
Australian?
Getting close, but no.
French?
No. It's actually the Swiss. The Swiss eat 12.5 kilos of chocolate every year.
Now that's a lot. Now you did mention Australia. How do we fare?
We do 7.5 kilos every year. Every single Australian is 7.5 kilos of chocolate a year.
Now has that got to do with Easter, or are we just pretty good at it all round?
We're pretty good at it all round, but in fact now you've mentioned Easter, we are the #1 consumers of Easter eggs in the world. In 2004, every single one of us ate 20 Easter eggs.
And while that's enough to make us feel a little bit sick, I think it's time we went and ate some more chocolate. What do you reckon, guys?
Oh, good idea, good idea.
The tour ends at one of Sydney's 5-star hotels. For today's tour, it's Adora Chocolates in the Sofitel Wentworth. It's a pretty good way to end the tour, just relaxing, enjoying the surroundings and succumbing to one final temptation. So I'm ready for my last chocolate, Sheila. What have you got for me?
I've got cinnamon and chilli in white chocolate. And this one's raspberry, truffle in dark chocolate.
They both sound good. I think I'm going to go with the chili first.
Good idea.
Here we go. That's really good. What a great fusion of flavours. Very spicy.
I thought you'd like it.
Well, I think I've had just about enough chocolate to last me a lifetime, but I can safely say I've never quite experienced it like I have today. So the next time you've got visitors in town, or even if your friends are just looking for something to do on a weekend, why not jump on a Chocolate Espresso tour so you can get out there and see, hear and taste all that Sydney's got to offer. Let me tell you, it's well and truly worth it. Chocolate Espresso tours run mainly on weekends, but you can make a weekday booking by appointment. Prices start from $60 and include all the tastings along the way, as well as your gift bag full of vouchers and tips for storing your favourite treats at home. To learn more about the tours and to make a booking, visit chocolateespresso.com.au. So a big thanks to Sheila for showing us a fantastic side to our harbour city, and also a shout out to Dean and the crew from Whoosh Clothing. You can check those guys out at whoosh.com.au. I'm Ryan Carter for EWTV. Thanks for watching.